Hi, this is Casey Wallace here at the Portal to Ascension conference and getting to know Adrian and all of the super cool stuff that he does and allowing you to sit in on a little bit of a fun conversation as we get to know each other. But better than that, you get to know him, get to know all about the crazy things that he does to provide everybody their permission of self, their unleashment of their extraordinary and their superpowers, all while kind of sitting back in this super cool energy space of kind of unassumingness, you know, and just that I love the term the wind beneath the wings energy, you know, that you are. Adrian, thanks for sitting down and chatting with me.
Amazing. Thanks, Casey. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Tell everybody, is there a contact? Before we even get started, is there a website? How do people get to know where you are?
Our website is DisclosureFest.org. That's the best way to get a hold of us. You'll be able to find a bunch of initiatives and events that we're doing throughout the year and just keep up with a way to be of service.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Disclosure Fest and you. And let's talk, if you don't mind, I want to go back in your life into some of your kind of whatever in your childhood, which I imagine could have been a little bit of rejection for your strangeness or what you thought or what you felt or what you saw.
Yeah.
When did you start to become the open-minded component to the other things that are going on? Have you always been that way, or did you kind of suddenly shift into a place?
Yeah, no, in school, a lot of what I was going on with me was I would be sitting behind someone in an auditorium, and I just put my hands on their shoulders.
Really?
Start massaging, and then a lot of the healing modalities is where it all came from.
Oh my hell! Okay, so you're how old are you when you're doing this?
This is junior high into high school.
Wow.
And past that, and then always really focusing on that and being able to just know how to touch and heal through massage is one of the things.
Okay.
And from there, it was a UFO experience. 1990, I seen a UFO that for a while, and it just really woke me up. Something happened to me where like a really beautiful spark within my centers and my channel just flickered open.
Where were you with the UFO sighting?
Yeah, in Encino, in backyard, in my parents' house.
Day or night?
It was nighttime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after that, I mean, I started really getting into meditation.
Okay.
And then from there, I started developing my own ways of channeling.
Okay.
So by doing so, I started channeling healing modalities.
Okay.
Like crystal healing came through, and all of a sudden I'm understanding something that I didn't even know existed until I went to a crystal shop and saw a book with like a grid on someone. I'm like, whoa, this is real.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how.
Yeah.
And from there, I kind of introduced a plant-based lifestyle, and that also increased in.
What year is this?
This is 93.
Okay, so this is really kind of preliminary because honestly, kind of just now the plant-based thing is really. I consider it unleashing now only because it actually is showing up in the fast food restaurants now.
Yeah.
And that really kind of tells you it is really moving mainstream. Okay.
Took an 18% hit into the dairy industry last year.
I know. My daughter is very strong advocate for raw vegan type of application. She's got us into that space and many people go that direction either for health reasons or for kind of moral reasons, some kind of for both or whatever. But so this is really early. So I got to ask you this question. Is this something that you just kind of intuitively knew to do, or did you kind of see something and it triggered something?
I saw a clip, not YouTube. Back then, there was this guy, Robert, who at Follow Your Heart restaurant, he would have, you go to his trunk, he'd open his VHS tapes of like the UFO Bigfoot experience, the Kennedy assassinations, all these different things. And then he had this guy who snuck a belt buckle camera in the slaughterhouses and factory farms and all this. And then I'm like seeing this, and then because my channels are opening, I'm seeing like my animal family being abused.
Yeah.
You know, because we are one human family sharing.
We
this planet.
always support. We always support. I'm saying this. I say this all the time. I'm going to say it on this camera again. A sentient being, which is a soul, is any type of a being that can feel an emotion.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
End of story. So.
End of story.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. And then that was a whole nother level of my channel
You bet.
opening.
It opens up.
So, and then channeling more and more, and a lot of it's channeling. A lot of I do like 5 or 6 modalities that are all been channeled information that I had to go and then find that, okay, other people are doing this.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Spent from there, started dabbling in the music industry.
Okay. All this time, like, what are you doing for a living? Like, is this a spiritual hiding in the closet stuff
Honestly,
that you're doing, or are you
like,
kind of integrating this?
No, I mean, I've never had a normal job, so basically, I started renting out people's backyards for $30, and then charging $5 at the gate to watch bands and DJs in people's backyards. At 12 years old, before that, I built a wrestling ring in my backyard and charged people to come and wrestle. You know, because we were all into like Hulk Hogan.
So you're the I was gonna say you're the one that kind of brought in the kiddie pool with the Jello and the chocolate.
No, we actually built a really cool ring.
Okay.
I was like, you know, my dad's a carpenter, and I'm like, Dad, you got to help me do this.
Nice.
But yeah, in the music industry, So I'm at this point, before entering the music industry, super conscious, really mindful of the universe and understanding the connection and the oneness and how powerful the heart is, and this is all coming through. And so now I'm dabbling in the music industry because I started with backyards and getting into warehouses, and now I'm like starting to get into the Sunset Strip, you know, and I partnered with a dear friend of mine, still one of my brothers, Michael Magveri, who owns the Whiskey, the Roxy, the Rainbow Bar and Grill.
Wow.
And I had an office at the top of the Whiskey, and we together found these amazing bands like Linkin Park and Incubus and System of a Down. Huge bands. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but these are bands that grew up to be very big bands. So in the music industry, I'm like, oh wow, this is going to be a great way to be a podium. Letting these bands know that this is a very strong podium out there to let people know about information.
Nice.
And you know, this worked. I mean, Brandon from Incubus, very successful global platinum band. We used to go to Bashar together, you know, back in the day, because Bashar is a big activation for me. And you know, so I'm like, okay, this is great. But a lot of bands didn't follow through once they got into the whole cookie cutter music industry.
Sure.
You know, they really got pushed into only writing about family and love and relationships and breakup and what people can relate to, keeping that paradigm going.
Right.
So 20 years go by, and now I'm like, I'm out of this. I'm done. I went through some major, the most pinnacle shadow work of my life, you know, through that transition from the music industry. And I was in a relationship, and then this was the most beautiful part of my life, because this is where I was able to find so much ancestral trauma and so many deep-rooted past lives that carried this ancestral trauma and amazing deep contracts with entity attachments that stayed with me throughout these timelines. And I wouldn't have been able to see all this unless I went through that time. And this is in a beautiful time. It was 10 years, with 5 of those years being really, we would call it rock bottom, but I would call it the gift.
It's just the awakening. Yeah, it's the awakening. Yeah.
So after that transition and finding these intense entities, most likely this one entity that's been around for a long time, and you know, I almost died during this time. Actually, I almost didn't make it. But again, that helped me find this. I was, even through all my spiritual work, it was invisible to me that I had some really intense contracts. You know, so going through some past life regressions and beautiful shadow work, I was able to break some amazing contracts that needed to be broken, some entities that I finally got to see a very humbled being very humbled and very filled with humility. You know, when you see a reptilian royal walk away filled with humility and forgiveness and love and compassion, I think that's a real transition there.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So after that came DisclosureFest, and that's where this was.
So you got it. You can't just say that. Like you're sitting there conceptualizing about an idea, okay, and you just wake up one day, you start making phone calls, you start making arrangements. How does this work?
It's actually deeper than that. I think I rushed. I started writing a movie after that.
Okay.
And then I was getting so far into this movie, I actually got it funded, and I was ready to film it. And then I went to my vortex spot, meditation, and that's where this beautiful, deep channeled clear came through to put this movie on hold and start this foundation. So it wasn't really an idea other than just a direct, clear, guided.
Well, that's how Xpnsion Network came for us. So,
beautiful.
The group that I channeled, Julius, which is crazy.
Which was
powerful.
Amazing today.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, I was there.
And they said we were trying to get on another network, not getting any response whatsoever. And Julius came and said, "Start your own damn network." And I'm like, "Are you crazy? Like, we don't know anything about that, right?" Julius is like, "Don't forget that professionals built the Titanic and an amateur built the Ark."
Yeah.
Right? And we're like, what? Right? So we kind of, I know.
love that
I get that though, okay? And so, a year later, here we are sitting here with super cool people like you and, unleashing and unraveling this. So I totally get what you're talking about.
I know you do.
Where you're getting this message, and it's like, for anybody out there, when you get these really strong inspirations and you're thinking, I'd like to follow that, but I can't. And you take the turn away from that opportunity. Versus those of us, I'm like, I don't know if I'm brave enough or crazy enough to be following this stuff. But at this stage and phase of my experience, there's no other way.
Yeah.
Because the discord that takes place, if you don't listen, is too disharmonizing for everything else in your life too.
Yeah.
So it's like, I got to go this direction because at least I'm in an energy flow momentum. Where I know if this isn't really what materializes, it's the doorway for something else.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Wow, you're putting all that energy into it either way.
Yeah. So, how long have you been doing DisclosureFest?
So, DisclosureFest has been around now going on 4 years.
Okay. And of course, want to be part of that, right?
Yes, you should be part of it. I would love for you to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So, what this actually is a multicultural initiative and community-based nonprofit.
Okay.
That's geared around multiple initiatives.
Okay.
So right now we have currently 5 operating at all times with the Clean Air Initiative, which is tree plantings, forest restorations, and restoring waterways.
Okay.
Done over like 18,000 some odd trees, restored waterways on 3 mountains. We have our Beach and River Cleanup Initiative, over 20,000 pounds of trash last year.
Wow.
Mostly plastic.
Yes.
And rivers and beaches.
Excuse me, it's all plastic.
Yeah.
It's all plastic. But we don't have to go there. Go ahead.
Totally. We have our Feed Our Souls initiative. It's our homeless initiative. So this one we go into skid rows and we'll have plant-based feasts and meditation and yoga and sound healings and barbers and showers. It's really, really amazing. Really raising the frequency in an area that's super suppressed. We have our...
That one's really one of your get the chills thing, isn't it?
It is. It
because
really is.
I know how empathic you are.
Yeah, you do.
I already know that.
Yeah.
Okay. And so all of these things that you feel your way into, because that's what your empathic powers are for. But that one, because you've been kind of right in that arena, not the crazy arena.
Yeah.
Although based on somebody else's perception, maybe so, right? Because people think I'm crazy, right? But you've been right in that shit, man. This was so close to where I was. And that's got to give you a lot of your pinging of your purpose.
Oh yeah, it's such a powerful thing to see. I mean, just to feel when we get there in the morning and you see it's just like the smell is just outrageous, and there's trash everywhere and everyone's just moping. And then it comes about 11 p.m. where we're cranking some of the music. you know, you're starting to, like, there are healing sanctuaries there. People are getting body work, and like there's smudging stations, so everyone's getting Palo Santo and sage. By about noon, you can start feeling the whole vibration shift within such a suppressed area. And yeah, it just keeps growing. It's so beautiful. One of our other initiatives that you're going to also feel the same thing with is our Starseed initiative, which is our children's initiative. We go into children's schools, primarily, like in November 19th, we'll be at Crete Academy, which is a kindergarten through 6th grade. Half the children are homeless. They're witnessing so much trauma in their lives, where they're seeing prostitution, drug addiction, rapes, fights, murders, gunshots.
Yeah, just sitting in the room watching
They're just
that stuff.
not even rooms, tents, in like tents outside in Skid Row. So these are children that are dealing with so much trauma at such a young age. To bring a curriculum like sound baths and ecstatic dance, where they can shake a lot of this trauma loose, and meditation, plant-based foods. This is a way to help children that are dealing with this, that have such pure light energy. And we all know what happens after we deal with the shadow work.
Yeah.
You know, it's just...
You get unleashed.
And
Just unleash
let's unleash them early.
Yeah.
So that's Starseed Initiative. We have over a dozen schools now we're working with in LA, and starting to work with in our 4 other chapters in other cities. And then comes our flagship, the Mass Meditation Initiative, which is our festival.
Okay.
And it's all geared around a mass meditation at 2 p.m. It's also live streamed worldwide. Like Michelle was saying, 14 stages, 3 music stages, art walks, all transformation.
Yeah.
And then this mass meditation that is all about unity consciousness, remembering the oneness, and expanding our frequency beyond this park and into the whole world. And every year we add a new initiative. So 2020 is our senior initiative. So we'll be going into nursing homes. So each initiative is geared towards activating a different part of our Ascension keys.
Okay.
So when you're doing our clean air initiative and you're planting trees, you're really activating your root by putting your hands in the ground, connecting with our great mother, having her accept this sapling, you know, this meditation with it. Our Feed Our Souls is a heart key activator. You're looking at a reflection of yourself within someone that, in the paradigm that we're in, would you'd feel that is rock bottom, or
Suffering.
that is really a reflection of you and your ancestral roots.
Yeah.
So it's a hard. So these are Ascension keys within being of service, because a lot of people in this day-to-day life.
You're serving yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the selfish component in the sense that it's supposed to be, which is the grandest loving sense, not the selfish as in separation.
Yeah.
The selfish as in unification. Right.
Right.
So that's again one of those perceptions that they've retarded and abused to keep us from the knowing of ourselves.
Yeah.
We want everybody to be selfish, right?
Yeah.
Knowing ourselves through the eyes of each other and unifying our experience of each other. Yeah,
we've created this program.
Yeah.
We've created the program to be in a society that is so self-serving, but really most of our energy is feeding something we don't know.
Right.
We don't know what we're feeding.
Right.
And then what's left, we're feeding ourselves. You know, I want these things, I need to survive, I need to pay my rent, and it's all this. So second, we kind of look out and see the reflection of each other and everyone else, and we're being of circuits, we're activating all these dormancies within our Ascension keys.
Sure.
And that's kind of why the festival is all about activation with this mass meditation. We had over 22,000 people meditating in downtown Los Angeles in June.
When is
it's
it?
Always LA summer solstice, Saturday. Last year we even went to DC. I had to stage on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, 20,000 people in front of the reflection pond, and we did all of our initiatives each day leading up.
Okay, tell me the date. It's whenever the summer solstice is.
Summer solstice is June 20, 2020.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Is that fun?
That's going to be fun, 2020.
Okay, and anybody can attend. Everyone should attend. The admission price is donation type of stuff,
It's a
right?
donation-based event.
Okay.
So it's up to you.
Wow.
That's part of a healing process for you as well.
Sure, and also it also supports supports. I think it's supportive of eliminating the scarcity energy in your life.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Say that to people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a great one. Thank you.
Yeah. And also this. There's no value in free, meaning there's always got to be an exchange component, or else you create kind of this cosmic debt syndrome for yourself that you're never, you know. So we love that you're assisting people to get out of their scarcity energy.
It really is. It's
right?
so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, and my mom ran the door this year. She told me
How fun is that?
She told me over 400 people came in for free that she knew about. But these 400 people somewhere in the day made it back to the front and said, I can't be here for free. And the transmission told me every year, I lost a lot of partners or like people that were part of this because I kept tuning in and I kept saying, keep it free, let them heal. You know, and just the choice of your choice of donating or coming in for free, because it's a choice right there. You get a free ticket or you can donate and read about why you should. And that is a healing part within you as well. So to hear my mom say that over 400 people made their way back, said, I can't be in here for free.
Yeah.
You know, it was really beautiful. And I was patient for 2 years for that one.
What's next for you, Adrian? With the continuation of this, I already know you have these kind of vision quests of other things.
Yeah, wow. So after this amazing success of 2019 June, I was approached by Acon, and a Space Between, which is another organization. And Acon is a multi-platinum hip hop singer, R&B artist, and he wants to do conscious events. And now we're going to start bridging the gap between the urban and the spiritually conscious communities. And we're going to start doing these massive festivals that are going to bring disclosure information, esoteric healing, all of this into one place, so that we can activate a lot more people and create a big tour out of it. So
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Does everybody thank you for doing what you're doing?
Yeah, but I always say thank you. This is all
lovely to meet you.
Yeah, same here. Thank you.
It's lovely, I know, for you to meet. Adrian, please tell everybody again, contact information, where they can get information, and even anybody who might want to participate in volunteering in any way. I know you probably accept a lot of volunteer work on these things.
It's very important. So anywhere you are in the world, DisclosureFest.org. You could email us at contact@DisclosureFest, which is a cool email. If I don't see And I'm Adrian Vallera, and I can answer any questions you have. And thank you for tuning in. And I'd love to share it. Thank you.
Thanks again, Adrian.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Check out the website. Get off your butts and volunteer, participate, and unleash yourself. If you are of the mindset more than anything, just tap in to Adrian and let his story inspire you to find your super grooviness, your inspiration, your purpose, and listen to the crazy people who listen to the crazy people that inspire us, because it's joyous, right? Right? Find your joy. We'll be back with you soon.
Thank you.